Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of RollPlay Far Verona. I'm joined, as always, by Mark and Anne and Max and Bronze's chair. Hello. Hi, Bronze's chair. What have you been up to? Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
Cool. I'm sure Bronze will join us in a moment, but it feels to me like forever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check in with the cast and see what they're up to, but I have to sell out really hard first. So my overlords in the guild have asked me to remind you that if you want to buy a Far Verona pin, it will be changing at the beginning of December. So right now, what was it? A Trilliant Ring, Houses Minor, and another one that I just forgot. There are 3 pins that are up now, and if you want to grab those ones, go to the store, itmeJP merch. Go check it out. Those are the pins that are available. They're switching in a couple of days to 3 new ones.
Acre
so
was the other one.
Acre, thank you, Max. Yeah, so there you go. Go check it out, and we'll keep rotating them. So that was the thing that I need you to check out. I also have a new t-shirt. I have a Dungeon World t-shirt that I'm making, but I'm not going to talk about that. Don't worry. Mark, how are you, my friend? Are you excited that Neon Genesis Evangelion? I saw that. Are you excited? Let's talk about Neon Genesis Evangelion because it's giant robots and the internet seems very excited about it. Are you excited that it's coming out on Netflix? When was the last time you watched NGE, Mark?
Probably it must have been 8-9 years ago, something like that, a long time ago. I'm not particularly excited. Like I've seen clips of it and everything I remember. It was a show I liked and I was like, yeah, this is okay, but I don't have any like super fond nostalgia for it, and it's not my favorite show. So I was on purpose very antagonistic on Twitter and posting that I
as soon as I asked you,
overrated.
As soon as I asked you, some people in chat were like, "Yep, this is gonna be good."
Yeah, no, it's I just think it's a little bit overrated. I guess because I grew up with like a lot of my friends were super hardcore anime fans from around that same time period, and they just rave about it all the time, and I just never thought it was that good, and so I just have this kind of lingering, it's okay, like feeling about it.
What's great is that Netflix gave us the old anime 1-2 punch where they were like, Neon Genesis Evangelion coming out on Netflix. Everybody loves that. Who doesn't love getting the robot, Shinji? Right? Big deal.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Now that you're all excited about that, guess what else we got for you? You like Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah. So that
unplug your mic and plug it back in. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, is it bad? Okay.
It's just doing a little crackle. That's all right. While you fiddle with that, Bronze, I'll let you talk about your feelings about this Cowboy Bebop situation. How do you feel? Are you excited, Bronze, that they're making a live action version of Cowboy Bebop?
I mean, I'm not angry. I just don't understand at this point. Like, I don't understand why not do an animated retelling of the story? Because I'm not like other nerds where I feel like, oh, I own this, like this is it. And like, no, obviously introduce new generations to this thing we all love. Like, I don't understand why we can't. It's like I was excited for the She-Ra remake, because that's something I had growing up. It's cool that little girls now can have She-Ra growing up. I just don't understand what they hope to accomplish with live action because it's hard to cast, it's hard to costume, it's hard to bring a world to life in live action. And Netflix has several, offerings like Castlevania that are animated and they look, even if you don't like the show, they look phenomenal. So why not animate a retelling or something in that same universe instead of doing a live action? We're going to have another Geralt situation. Like I said from the beginning, Witcher should have been animated. Like to me, it's so strange to try to push this live action because it's so hard to get it right. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I could do it.
It's because
like,
cartoons,
oh, yes, I could get it right.
Cartoons are for babies and live action is for grown-ups, apparently. And that's just how it goes. Like, because I feel like it's one of those things where as a fan of something, because I'm in the same boat. I'm kind of just like, but why though? Like, why? Why not just do something different? But it's like they get access to the property, and I mean, we don't know about the dealings, right? There may have been like a business deal where they're like, you can have the license, but you're not allowed to make an animated series. Like you can do other stuff with it, but like there's already Cowboy Bebop animation. You have to do something else, which would be like
that could be it, because maybe they don't view this as like a competition. Whereas like if they re-release DVDs or do people still buy Blu-rays? I feel like most of that stuff is digital now. But like if
maybe some people
have the
still
right
do.
for that, maybe they feel like that'll like replace the the demand for like Cowboy Bebop's licensing, like the right to stream that or have that offered on different platforms, maybe they feel like that'll threaten that market.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the only thing like I can surmise
Well,
is
and
why they didn't do it.
we live in an era too where live action remakes of animated stuff, there's a precedent, right? Disney's all over that stuff, so it might be part of that too, where they're like, oh, but we're gonna do this too. We're gonna do also this thing. So that might be it. But yeah, weird week for announcements if you're an anime fan, especially a fan of old anime, which I am. New
Yeah.
anime, I don't fuck with that, but
I
like
don't watch new
if it's
anime
from the
either.
90s, I'm all over it.
Yeah.
But every single day I wake up and I'm like, is today the day they're gonna announce the live action Akira remake? Is today that day? Is
For
today the
me,
day that I die
it's
inside?
Samurai Champloo. I
Right.
think if
Yeah.
they tried to do a live action of Samurai Champloo, especially because the music from that was when I discovered, Nujabes and like all that stuff. I think if they were to
Yeah.
do that, I would physically hurt. And once
Yeah.
again, like if somebody were to approach me and be like, "Who do you think should play Mugen?" No one, because who the hell do you
Right. No,
cast for that?
nobody.
Who the hell? Like you do, unless you capture a demon from hell and put him in human flesh, you can't really cast Mugen or any of these characters. Same thing with Spike. I feel bad for whichever actor gets cast to play Spike or Vicious because God be with you. Everyone's gonna hate you just for existing.
I'm just really glad that Scarlett Johansson is gonna get so much work in the next little while. Like I just feel her
she's
career is
gonna be
really
Faye
finally
Valentine for sure.
it's finally taken off for her. Like good job. Good job, honey. You're doing it. Well, in non-anime related news, because it's been ages. What have you been up to, Bronze? I'll go back to Mark when it seems like he's recovered from his vow of silence. But yeah, Bronze, what are you doing? How's things? What's going on?
Haven't been doing anything too interesting. I'm starting my first RPG on my channel, which is like I know I'm like all
Dope.
over the internet, but this will be my first time GMing on my channel, which I'm pretty excited about. So that's gonna get started up probably next month-ish.
Have
And
you already announced what it is? Have you like what are you doing? Can't just say you're doing
I'm
an
doing a
RPG.
Ravnica campaign.
Dope.
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of magic. Used to work at a magic store. So I wanted to do something in that universe.
Now I'm just imagining you selling people like white rabbits and top hats and like wands
I know,
and
right?
sawing ladies in half tricks. Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
exciting. I think Ravnica is a
Yeah.
super cool world. That's cool.
It is, and that was like I originally I was relatively new to it because I started out kind of hanging out in comic book shops from that level of nerdery, and they always sell magic at comic book stores because it's kind of like what keeps your store afloat, I feel like.
Totally.
So I kind of got into it with the Avacyn Restored set, like that entire block with the werewolves and stuff, and I loved it. And then Return to Ravnica came out, and that's when I got like way into it. And then I would get all the cards at distributor price, which is like wholesale price. So I'd buy boxes and boxes and boxes of magic.
I lived that life. During Mirrodin Block. So yeah, I feel ya. I'm a relative newcomer to Ravnica too. Like I didn't play at all during like any period between here and the early 2000s. So Ravnica's all brand new to me just because of the most recent set, and it's pretty damn cool. And there's some good D&D support for it. So
oh yeah.
yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
cool.
love
When is that starting? Your show?
I've gotten most of the cast nailed down, I think, but I don't want to speak yet until I get like
Totally,
actual- 'cause
yeah.
The one thing we haven't decided on is like what day of the week we're gonna do it, but I have a feeling I'll probably get it out in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm pretty excited.
Nice. That's exciting. Cool. We'll keep an eye on Bronze's Twitter for announcements about that business.
Yeah.
Cool. I love it. I love when people I know that vibe, and I think we've talked about this before, that feeling of like I am very excited because I have a new campaign I'm starting and you have all these ideas and like it's a great time.
Oh yeah, I love new shows. That's my shit. So
Yeah. Cool. Well, good stuff.
I'm always
That's
excited,
exciting.
especially when it's a setting like Ravnica. Because I love all the
dope.
guilds. So immediately I was like, I could tell so many stories. This could be like,
Yeah.
like especially like depending on how like what kind of guilds the characters want to play. Like I'm leaning towards Demir because I'm a big Vlad Taltos like
Edgelord is I think the thing that you need to say there. Yeah.
No, like like secret keeper. Like I'm totally
Secret
like
edgelord.
into that. Yeah, like I'm kind of that's what originally I liked about Blades in the Dark too. And when I read the touchstones and was like, oh, Stephen Bruce and Peaky Blinders, I was like, what? I need to. That's the only reason I ordered the
Yeah.
book and read it that day. Was like when I read like, oh, like Peaky Blinders and I love Stephen
I
Bruce novels. So
I think that every single RPG and every campaign of every RPG should have like a, if you want to know more about my inspirations for this thing, here is a list of stuff you can watch. Both because then when you get into the game, you can be like, I'm going to read and listen to and enjoy this other stuff, and that'll help get me in the mood. But also, if you don't understand the thing, you can play it, or you can like go look at the things and be like, oh, okay, now I see why I would like this, right? If it's like, here's a
yeah,
TV
and
show, here's a
sometimes like
cartoon, here's some stuff you like.
sometimes even settings that have a lot of flavor and people I always hear that from new players. They're like, I don't know where to start. Like this seems so cool. Like, with Deadlands, like I don't know where to start. And it's like having those touchstones there, you could
Yeah.
easily tell someone who's interested in Blades in the Dark, like, go watch Peaky Blinders, and you get an idea of what kind of stories you can tell. Because you can start like especially as like a beginning GM, or you can pull from that and kind of see like, well, this is what the creators had in mind, and therefore this system excels at telling these kinds of stories, as opposed to, I want to run this sort of story, but this system doesn't really fit it. It kind of gives you a beginning like contextual point where you can start to build out from there, like what type of campaigns you could run. It'd be like trying to run an Edge of the Empire game and having no idea what Star Wars is. Like you wouldn't know how to structure those like those encounters. You wouldn't know where to begin, because what kind of stories do you tell in this this space? So yeah.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Well, I'm excited. New bronze show. I will keep an eye out for it. Mark, are we better?
Hello.
Can we hear you, Mark?
Let me find out.
Hey, buddy.
Is this okay, Max?
Sound fantastic.
In Max's
Thanks,
defense,
man.
you were crackling a lot.
Yeah, no. I said that was me being very sarcastic. That was me making a cheap joke at Max.
And that was me being dead serious, Mark.
Yeah, I know. You got me.
Yeah.
That sounds super cool.
anyway,
yeah.
What have you been doing, buddy? What's going on?
A lot of D&D stuff. We got like a load of big charity stuff coming up over December for the Yogscast. So I've been doing a lot of prep stuff for that. Planning some fun, dumb RPGs, and also doing like some Christmas special stuff. Been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena. Thank you, Adam.
Fuck yeah.
That's entirely your fault.
Influenced.
Yeah, influenced. Yeah, Mark one down for the influencer right there. And then I think that's it. I've not really been doing a lot. I don't lead a very exciting life. I really need to read the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. I've got it, but I've not actually sat down to read it yet. But after playing so much Magic recently, it's definitely seems super cool.
I sat down with the Roll20 version of it, and I was like, I'm just going to do an hour stream where we just look through this. And it took me 4 hours because I was like, every page was like, no, we got to look at this thing. Okay, we got to look at this other thing. And I just like very deeply dug into it. Yeah, that is it, Goblin.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool book. It's probably my favorite D&D supplement they've put out so far, which is really neat. I think it does
also
does justice to the setting. So.
Yeah, I love the Golgari. I've got like a Golgari deck that I'm playing at the moment, and I love it. Crazy Medusa elves. Yeah. It's really cool too. I like it.
It's the best. I'm gonna be Rawls Derek for PAX this year because he's the cutest and It's the best, and you suck. So does Golgari.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
You got told. I think everyone did. We all just got told so hard.
Absolutely owned.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I've been playing a ton of Magic too. It's fun. It's cool watching people get into it. I've been watching a lot of streamers. I watched Bike Man play it a little while ago, and I was like, you don't. It's so fun watching people learn how to do a thing that you already know how to do. It's really neat for me.
Well, I think like me and you must have played Magic round about this because you said that you were like hardcore into the Mirrodin when Mirrodin first came in.
Yeah,
that was the same for me. Like that was when me and all my friends were playing it super hard. And I always had like a love for that stuff. But yeah, it's been really cool kind of playing in and doing a couple of streams with it as well. Like getting like people who have no idea what's going on and kind of explaining stuff, like you said. It's been really fun. Vraska is
she's the best. If Wizards doesn't get their shit together soon and put together some kind of like influencer Magic tournament, we should just do it. We should just get together and be like.
They seem to be pretty hot on the streaming side of things anyway. Like I've seen them doing a bunch of stuff with different people, like streamers for Magic. So I'd be surprised if they don't. That'd be crazy if they didn't.
Yeah.
But you're right. You should do it.
I should. I'll just add it to the long list of stuff that I already need to do. That's fine.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, remind me to talk to you about in the new year. Remind me to talk to you about dragging you onto an episode of Office Hours.
I saw your tweets. I got the replies, and yeah, absolutely, definitely for sure in the new year because December is crazy. December is crazy busy.
I don't want to say this before I move on and see what Max has been up to in the last 24 hours or less. I wanted to say I saw you quote tweet Elon Musk earlier. It was a good takedown. That was nice.
Yeah, well, it's just like somebody in that kind of influential position basically telling people that like, hey, overworking and you know, driving yourself crazy with work is really good. It's like, no, it really isn't. Please stop perpetuating this. Like having worked in the games industry as well, like, ugh.
The comment our boy Elon posted was, if you actually love your job, no amount of work will feel like work. And pretty much everyone on Earth was like, shut up, you rich asshole.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of that. And I think it just hit home recently because I've been feeling sort of really kind of conflicted and stressed about what I'm doing. And so like I've been thinking a lot about how, you know, I've been getting loads of sleepless nights because I'm worrying about stuff that I'm working on and things. And it just kind of, I think it just hit home. So I was like, fuck this, reply.
I am all in favor. And plus Elon will never even notice that he gets tweets like that all day, every day. But it's good. It's important to make statements like that and be like, listen, everybody, don't listen to
don't listen to this
here. Don't listen to him. He's terrible. Yeah. So I just wanted to let you know I'm proud of you, Mark.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm really proud of everybody in the group here. We're taking turns having food. And now that you're done eating, how was your bagel?
It was delicious. Thank you. I woke up really late today, and so an everything bagel, the best kind of bagel because it has everything.
What'd you put on it? Like cream cheese or?
Oh yeah, cream cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
That sweet Philadelphia cream cheese. Mm-hmm.
Good choice. Yep.
Yeah.
Weren't they the ones back when TV was still a thing that had all those commercials about like angels and like heaven and like where you were eating cream cheese in heaven? Wasn't that Philadelia?
We got those.
Those were only Canadian commercials.
No, we got those.
I mean, Mark, your English commercials are different, but it was them. Okay, good. Because now every time I think about that cream cheese, I'm like, isn't that the heaven one? Where like if you die, you get sweet cream cheese. I can't. That's all I know about Philadelphia.
That sounds great.
Well, that's good.
Can't wait to
feed your body. Right, exactly. Ready to die for cream cheese. That'd be like the edgy social media version of that campaign. Like,
yeah,
kill yourself.
When kids our age are in charge of advertising companies.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, people our age are already in charge of advertising companies. That's why advertising is such a fucking nightmare these days.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Anne, besides eating delicious bagels?
Playing Battlefield.
Chat was going on about your hoodie or something.
My hoodie.
What's happening here? Explain to me. Why
this
is
a
chat
Rainbow Six
being
Siege
weird?
hoodie? And
You've not joined a paramilitary organization.
No, it came with patches for different operators. It came with like Hibana and Valkyrie and like a bunch of other people. I picked Jaeger because Jaeger's the best boy. Jaeger is from Germany, but apparently only extreme right-wing people wear German flags in Germany. I'm in America, by the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
There you go.
Take that German flag
saying
off.
my mic sounds bad. Does my mic sound bad?
Sounds like black out. Yeah.
Little peaky.
I was waiting to give Max the opportunity to just talk shit. Wow, take that, Germany. Auf Wiedersehen, Deutschland.
Fix your mic. Mark, can we get a mic test?
Hello, this is
Mike.
Sorry.
I'm good.
Mexican, is this okay? Okay, fine. Okay, thanks, Max. Thank you, sir.
So
I'd like to apologize to my grandma and grandpa for Anne's behavior just now. Sorry, Mima.
I'm trying to figure out my.
Yeah, I'll let you do thing. Max, well, we're gonna take turns.
Are we good?
We support each other.
I'm putting it back.
And you fiddle with your business there, Max. Have you
but
had
I don't know
a
what
busy?
the problem is.
Fine. JP will yell at you
mic.
in chat.
Great.
You're fine. Max, you were playing a game last night. Did you get to play some more online the Red Dead last night? I know you're excited about it during.
Yeah, I streamed a total of like between streaming hours of playing Red Dead yesterday was about like 13 hours or something like that. 6 in the morning and then 6 at night. With a little bit extra, obviously. Yeah, I streamed it. It was good. there's some stuff that they can tweak, but again, it's the beta, so I think that's the point of it right now, that they have this kind of soft opening, and I'm glad that they didn't just release it to everyone, just let the floodgates open, because if anyone remembers the release of GTA 5, it was a fucking shit show when it came to online play. Everybody was just in the clouds. I woke up at like 7 a.m. the launch of GTA 5.
I saw a really sad tweet from you where you were like, well, I guess we're not going to get to play. And I woke up early for this. And normally that'd be like a little sad. I'd be like, oh, that's a bummer. But I know how much you hate getting up early. Max is a night owl. So I was like, I saw that tweet and I was just like, oh, buddy. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Here's the thing. I don't mind getting up early if I'm like, once I'm awake, I love the morning. You know what I mean? But I was up late, as you probably know, the night before. So I only had like 4 hours of sleep. Then I got up and went to go play on Xbox because I prefer the Xbox controller, especially when we playing something for a long time.
That's fair.
Hurts my hand. And then, it just said coming soon. It was all fucked. And I had to rebuy the game again, the Ultimate Edition again on PS4 because the PS4 servers were running.
So many.
And I'm glad I did because I was able to get, like I said, that 6 hours in earlier like I wanted to and play it. Plus, I don't mind giving them money. They worked really hard on this game, and it's a fantastic game. So I have no problem giving them money at all.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's very cool. I'm going to be on later on again tonight with the boys and the crew that we play with. Super cool. Got to level up to get that fishing pole and go fishing with the friend. Don't laugh at me. Fishing's great. It's in Warframe too. What you know about catching robofish? Love it.
I love it. That's great.
I think it was more the concept of leveling up to get the fishing rod. That was what made me laugh.
That's the end game. That's the end game.
Well, you only have to be level 13 to get the fishing rod. So it's not like a crazy thing.
No, but it's the end game because once you hit it, that's the end. You did everything you got to do. You can fish.
Yeah, now you can just fish. It's Red Dead Redemption Fishing Edition.
I'm sorry, sir. You haven't done enough odd jobs or killed enough people to use this fishing rod. Please go kill some more bandits. Then you can go fishing.
Yeah, that's right.
I love it.
That's right.
Game design.
Yeah, game design.
It's and I love GTA 5, but I've said that before. I think yesterday when I talked about like their online play there. They just made it too structured. Like they limited a lot of the places that you could enter and interact with and features and things that you could do in single player. This one, it's like, okay, we took pretty much everything from single player and it's all there. Like we might have tweaked a little bit how it works because, it's online and we want you to work and level up to unlock things to give you a purpose, right? But it's all there. And it seems like mainly the cosmetics are the only thing that really is like if you want to pay money for it eventually when they release, because they have like a gold bar system, right? That's like their currency. It's just like gold bars, and you can have like fractions of gold bars and whatever. So that isn't in the game yet. It's not enabled in the beta. So when that comes out, it is expensive though. I will say that. I don't know how much gold bars, what gold bar translates to dollar. I don't know that dollar amount yet, but right now it seems like it looks like it might be expensive for cosmetics, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe
because it's in beta now and there's no okay, and there's no marketplace yet. So gold bars will become...
there's no way for me to tell like what it actually translates to a dollar amount, but
got it.
Right now, I think it's just because it's saying like you need this much gold bars. I'm like, fuck, that's all I wanted to do is change the handle on my gun. Like,
okay, that makes sense.
But it's super cool. The whole draw for me with that game is just super immersive, really, really detailed world that you're able to just run around with your buds. It's fucking cowboys, man. Like it's literally fucking cowboys. It's Brokeback Mountain with your buds in an online.
I was about to say, dude, I have misinterpreted this game. If this game is literally fucking cowboys, the game, I feel like I got to take another look at the old Red Dead Redemption because
to make sure everybody was paying attention. I got everybody reacting, so it was good. No, it's you're able to ride around with your friends on cowboys. God damn it!
Just ride around on cowboys. Say.
Right.
Clearly, I didn't get enough sleep last night too from my big long day. No, on horseback, and it's really cool.
Big long day of riding around on cowboys.
I live for that shit and being able to like interact and do cooperative missions and even just shenanigans like hunting and stuff. And the hunting is really, really good in that game. Being able to do that with your friends and stuff, and also do your friends. It's just great. It's really fun.
I mean, we joke about this stuff, and there is definitely a gulf between like sexy sex in video games and everything else. But someday, give it 100 years, and we'll be able to have sexual content in video games that isn't all giggles and eye rolling. Someday you'll get that cowboy riding game you've always wanted, Max. Someday.
Listen, right now you have the ability to tackle, your buds and other enemies to like beat them and stuff. Pretty soon in the future, we're gonna be able to tackle and beat them a different way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Adam?
I do.
What'd you say? Yes. Bronze, you have something to say? Let me hear your audio.
Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus. What the hell? Tackling people? Whatever happened to a romancing and dancing over here? Tackling, hog tying?
I mean, you've clearly not been in the gay Wild West before.
Listen, when you're an outlaw, you live for the thrill. And that translates into the bedroom, too. Okay?
That's a different kind of role play. I don't know about all that.
It's they call it the Wild West for a reason, and anything goes. So
I don't need none of y'all judging me, all right?
I just got a bunch of
no,
ideas
really
for a new Deadlands campaign. So that's
nothing is manlier than a couple of sweaty cowboys rolling around in the grass. All right, nothing.
I gotta be honest, doing like
Nothing
actual
manlier
like
than that.
Western role play would be super fun. Just give me a reason to talk with a Southern drawl. That's really
Yep.
Yeah, there are a couple of alright like Wild West games, varying from the sort of serious and historical to the weird and strange with the magic. So yeah, there's games out there. I didn't know that you were so into the Wild West until recently, Max. So it's cool. It's cool learning that.
Yep. I was saying too,
Cowboys
especially
and
when I
Right.
made the little like video that you talked about the one time.
Mm.
It made me want to go back and watch like Tombstone and Quickly Down Under and all that stuff, like all those old westerns. And also too, I was gonna.
Seven?
What'd you say?
Do you like the Magnificent Seven?
I did not see that.
You should see that one. That one's pretty.
haven't seen it.
That one's like cheesy, but it's great.
Yeah, I don't mind the little cheese though in westerns. Like I feel like it
Little
fits.
cheese on your
Like,
spaghetti.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Um,
They're making a Deadwood movie. I saw.
Oh, really?
The other day. I don't know if you watched Deadwood, but yeah, they're bringing it back to do a movie, which is weird because it's been like fucking a decade since the last episode of that show aired.
Yeah.
I always forget about it. Yeah, that thing is great. It's good stuff.
Also, last bit of Red Dead. I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday. I think I did. I think I talked a little bit about the HUD being able to turn off and stuff. I'm going to be making like the plan is to make some sort of like visual content. I don't know if it's going to be. I'm probably going to make something a little more action or more serious or whatever, and also just comedic stuff because the old Max came from like machinima stuff, like making videos, glitch videos, like in Halo 2 and Halo and stuff. That's how I started. So whenever I still see like the options and the potential to make like a really cool like video or something like that, and it makes it easy for me to make stuff. Plus that game is just gorgeous. And I'm just excited to have some sort of night shot sequence with people riding with lanterns because the lighting in that game is fucking fantastic. So I'm just looking forward to having fun with that. And I already got some buds too, the same people that I've been playing with that are like, I'll puppeteer and stuff for you. So we'll see what we come up with.
Yeah, man, well, I'm looking forward to it. Because that little trailer you cut, I was like, Max has got a pretty good handle in this genre. So it's cool that you've got an opportunity to do some creative stuff with that. I feel like that about photo mode in video games.
Yeah.
And you played Spider-Man, right? You played that Spider-Man game. I just finished it.
I haven't played the DLC yet.
Me neither. Spider-Man versus Horizon Zero Dawn. Which photo mode did you like better? People are asking me about this.
I never finished Horizon Zero Dawn, but I really liked the options in the photo mode. I think more from like a photography standpoint. But I liked Spider-Man's like inclusion of the frames and like that kind of stuff was really fun. So like I thought that was really fun, but for like photography specifically, I think Horizon really nailed it.
Yeah. Cool. Good. I agree. Also, you sound great now. Good stuff.
Yay.
So anyway, where were we, Anne? I want to let you finish your intro. You've been playing Battlefield, right?
I've been playing, I've only been playing Battlefield for the past like week or so. So I've been taking a break from the Rainbow Six, but Battlefield is very fun. I didn't enjoy it when I first started playing it. It's hard for me to go from Rainbow Six, where everything is very like all the guns and everything are very fast and like modern, and then going to World War II era Battlefield is very hard for me. Also, the like spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die, like that
Oh, yeah.
kind of at first I think that was really hard for me. But now that I've been putting more time into it, I realize what a nice counter it is to Rainbow Six, where you have to think very tactically. The games all last for like 30 minutes, and you have to be like very very careful about what you're doing and how you're planning and all this stuff. And it's really like a mental game. And in Battlefield, it's just like run and gun, just shoot things, and like you don't really have to think too much about what you're doing. So it's kind of nice to just do like some mindless, just running around and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's that arcade style of like shooter gameplay, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that. Cool. So you've just been like playing the hell out of that. I feel like every time I see you online, that's what you're playing. So that's cool. Nice to see.
Yes. Yeah, I've been very it's been a while, I think, since like even like I really enjoyed Black Ops. The VR mode was really fun, but I think Battlefield for me is like on another level, which is really nice because I haven't experienced that with another game in a while. I mean, like story games, it's fine because you like play it and then you go through the story and then you're kind of done. But this is something that I like. I've been sinking a lot of time into it, and I didn't really like Battlefield 4 very much, so so I wasn't expecting to like this one as much as I do, but I've put a lot of hours into it over the past few days. So, and then they're gonna have a VR mode too.
It's a nice feeling, right? Like you play a game, you're like, I don't know, maybe this will be fun, and then you learn more about it, and you're like, oh wait, I actually really like this, and then you just want to play it all the time. That's a really cool feeling, and I think it's fairly rare. So it's cool to hear that you're digging it. That's cool. Well, congratulations. I think we're good. I think we've made sure everybody's audio works. We're all checked out now. Let's play some Far Verona. So we may need a bit of a recap given that it's been some time. I believe the last time we played was Halloween, maybe? Did we get to play after that? I can't remember. It's been a fucking while. So I think the most important bit from the last time, it was November 7th. Yeah. So the last time that we played, there was some chases, there was some lasers, there was a lot of like brief bursts of action, and where we kind of ended up, I think, was that you had captured Sybil Alders. She's been returned to the ship now, so she's in the hands of, or will be very soon in the hands of your superiors. And this is kind of the cleanup part, right? Like there's still a bit of like, how deep do you want to dig into what's going on this planet, right? So the group of you, the last time we saw you were out in the desert, essentially, and now you have to kind of decide what to do next. And part of that deciding is going to be figuring out your goals. So let's take a minute to talk about that stuff. What are you doing? What's the plan? What is everybody's goals? What do you want to do this session? It doesn't matter to me who goes first. I haven't started the list yet. So what do you think? Anybody? I'm gonna just pick somebody. Mark, I'm making a thoughtful.
Nothing.
I mean, we can talk about it, right? Because it's been a little while. This is our opportunity to recap and sort of figure out what's going on. So, like, Mark, do you think Crusader Gabriel wants to like investigate the elder, right? Because Miguela, there's still some question about what happened to you and like how that happened and what's going on there. Or are you satisfied? Is it like, are there other things to do that are more important for you? What do you think?
I think there's like, it's a split between wanting to know if it was the elder or somebody else that set him up for the bomb, helped set him up the bomb, and then the other split is basically taking out Talat Lao and not leaving him to be a problem in the future. I think. Yeah,
where did we land? Where do we land on that fella? Still alive, right? Where is Lao?
So he was alive, but scared the hell out of.
That's right. Oh, it was Alders that got. It was Alders that got shot. Yeah, Lao is just like
he was about to give Alders up, and then she burst in. I saved his life, kind of unintentionally, but
okay.
Grabbed Alders.
So Lao is still at large. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. We need to figure out what we're doing with the elder as well. I think Gabriel kind of wants to know. No, actually, he I don't think he would care about who necessarily killed him. He survived. He's changed what he's doing now. I think maybe the main thing would be to ensure that the planet is left in a decent state and capable state, so that this isn't going to become a problem again.
Yeah, I mean, like making sure that you leave the planet better than you found it is a bit outside of your purview.
Not
how
necessarily leaving it. Yeah, I'm thinking like maybe not
Right, 'cause
necessarily
it's a
leaving
whole
the planet
planet.
better. Yeah, I think maybe making sure that Megala is either left in a position where either she isn't in control or she is working for the Empire properly and working for the Church properly, something like that. Making sure she's either like a supplicant or she's no longer in power.
The safest thing to do would be to replace her, right? Because so it's a question of whether you want to do that, if you want to replace her with someone more like trustworthy or reliable, or if you want to like ensure that she is trustworthy, because that's a harder job.
Yeah, and I think the main thing is that we know that she's well loved. So I think that the last thing we were kind of talking about at the end of the last episode was maybe keeping her in power, but like maybe blackmailing her or like keeping her under check, like somehow, like threatening her and said, if you don't do if you don't do a good job or if you don't do what we tell you, then we're gonna get you thrown in prison or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, how do you want to phrase that?
I think
like
that's
ensure her loyalty, or
what's that? Max?
I think that's what we were talking about before. To
I think
kind
so.
of just be like, listen, if you're not stepping in line and you're not with what we want,
then
like,
you're out.
In a bad way. We already got a warrant for you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, because we can basically just accuse her of being in league with the terrorists and throw her in jail. I think.
Well, and Nomi, I mean, Nomi does have a warrant for her arrest, right? Like Yancey sent you this warrant that says like, go get her, like go and arrest this.
Whether or not she actually was like privy to all of it and actively, participating with terrorists, that's irrelevant at this point because we have enough connection, based info with her just being associated with these people that we can just be like, listen, this is not going to look good for you,
Yeah.
Sometimes Booker says things and I'm like, yeah, you're a crux. Like whether she's innocent or not isn't really at fact here. It's more important that we do. It's perfect.
It's not really a matter of innocence. It's a matter of she's going to get fucked one way or another if she's not participating in what we.
Maybe jump to somebody else, Adam, just because I'm trying to think what.
If you want to ponder it,
like I'm trying to think of what his personal goal is rather than.
Okay, well, it sounds like
probably would need.
It sounds like Booker's got a pretty good handle. So Booker, what do you want to do this session?
What are you saying?
What's your goal? What do you want to do, old man?
A goal?
Do you want to arrest the elder? Do you want to? How do you want to handle it?
Last time we had that. Fuck, what was my call sign? I'm trying to remember where we left. What's the name? This is important.
I think it was Papa Bear.
Papa Bear.
Papa Bear and Big Snake.
Big Snake.
Nomi was Big Snake.
Big Snake and Papa Bear. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, Papa Bear. I think Booker would be focused on the next task, which be since we now have somebody in custody that backs up our cause and our intent to take down the Elder Megala and either take down or have her work with us would be to take care of, I don't know how to phrase it, probably just confront Elder Megala.
Yeah. You just want to confront her? What do you want to get out of that confrontation?
Either I'd say what we just talked about. Either have her, replace her and take her into custody, or have her work with align to our goal.
Okay.
I don't know. This is I always have a problem making it like a succinct sort of phrasing.
Yeah, we just need to be able to make sure that we know that you've done it. So I think taking her into custody is a goal, right?
But then if she ends up playing ball, then, which I don't think she's going to, but if she ends up playing ball, then it's like, haha, you didn't get her into custody.
I mean, you can still, I mean, it's not. Technically, your orders are to arrest her and then figure out if she could
take her into custody. I'm with it.
Okay. And then Nomi, like Booker is thinking tactically, it's your job to think strategically. So what do you want your goal to be? Because ultimately, Nomi's decision here is like, does the Empire need to take a firmer hand with this planet? Or can we leave it in the hands of the church and like let them continue what they're doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like I want to convince the elder.
Yeah.
Elder
Alders
Miguel,
is the last name of the woman. The elder Miguel.
Right. Syllable Alders. Right.
Spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to get her to cooperate with us without having to use any more like force, basically.
Okay. All right. So like obtain her cooperation.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to like have to bring the hammer down on her.
Yeah, so your goal is to do this in a clean way, but you may still have to do it messy if you can't get this goal achieved. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Ideally not do it that way, but I will if I have to. So
Right, exactly, which is why this is the goal, but it doesn't mean you can't do things other ways if you end up not being able to achieve that. Okay, great. Okay, Mark, what do you think? Do you have yours? I'm saving Bronze. I'm saving you for last because yours may not be related to the current situation. Because I feel like you're going to want to tie up loose ends.
I'm thinking Gabriel wants to. Yeah, I think find out. Trying to decide between either who set him up for the bomb or kill Talat Lao are my two choices. Based on
Right, I like the idea that somebody's pursuing that loose end. I would go there, right? Because Lao, like, it would be easy to let Lao off the hook. It'd be really easy to let him off the hook now because you used him as the step to getting the person you're really after. But if you're not comfortable with that, if you're like, no, we're gonna go and get that guy.
Well, I also think, like, in the eyes of the High Church and potentially in Crux as well, I mean, he was aiding and abetting a terrorist who was, actively working against the Empire, which is heresy and everything else. I think that is something that Gabriel's not going to forget. So,
yeah, in the eyes of House Crux, every jaywalker, every litterer, every criminal, big and small in the entire galaxy would be punished for their crimes. But the practicality of it is they don't always have the chance. But if you're interested in going after Lao, that's completely
I think so. And I think, like, it's...
how do you want to phrase it?
Kill Talat Lao.
Perfect. Good. Love it.
Let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah, let's not mince words on this one. Fuck that.
Eliminate
Talat
Lao.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Let's phrase it that way. Eliminate.
Okay, great. Okay, so Kieran, what would you like?
Did he get away? I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember like the last episode.
You left him behind. Yeah,
because I had to get Sybil. I had to get Alders out. I couldn't really. Yeah. I just grabbed her and ran.
You threatened him, and then he
was gonna squeal on her, and then she came out to kill him, and I killed her. I shot her.
Yeah, you successfully played him, and then she was like, "Oh fuck no."
But now you see, look, now I've got his trust, so I can kill him easily.
I was gonna say you kind of let him go last time, so for a second I was confused. I was like, "Wait, did he get away?"
He didn't let him go on purpose.
No, you don't understand. He thinks we're friends, and then I'm gonna shank him.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab him.
Max gets it.
Yeah, that's right. Teleport
I think
away before he can see his heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I think my goal is gonna be, the Amira's goal is gonna be to secure her replacement or a replacement for her on the crew.
Right. Okay. And so this is not. It's not just about the physical like arranging for this, but it's also about like talking to the your commanding officer, like basically smoothing this stuff over so that you can get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. So security.
Being called back to the stars.
That's right. Space treason awaits. I mean, what? Okay. Great. So where should we begin? Should we start? Like, there's no point in watching you trudge across the desert because your car's all fucked up. We can just assume that you got back to the embassy. And I think that probably the situation after that, after your situation, it's been escalated somewhat on the planet, right? Tensions are high on Berkman 3. I think Talat Lao probably in the time that you left has made some kind of statement, like on, it's not on TV because we don't have TV, it's the future, but like on the like local broadcast system, who has said, Talat Lao has been like, I was attacked in my church. These off-world, these fucking brigands have come to our planet and they tried to kill me and they have like kidnapped my friend and this cannot stand. Right, this sort of imperial aggression cannot stand. The people of Berkman cannot allow this to continue on our homeworld, and so there's shit's getting like ramped up. In the sense that there's some people have taken this to mean like, oh, Talat Lao has said it's time to revolt, and there's looting and burning and what have you of imperial friendly businesses. Probably many of the members of the High Church that were on world in dangerous places have now fled to the big orbital facility, and yeah. So the embassy, when you arrive, is on lockdown. Everybody is kind of like in there, and the guards are out, and things have been ramped up. But you get inside. There's no point in trying to like. You don't have to sneak back in or like evade any of that. But you're inside, and you're seeing this. Maybe you're in the main room with the ambassador, and she's looking all concerned and like giving orders to Fabian, her like surf assistant, and basically letting him know like, okay, here's what we got to do. We're going to issue a statement and we're going to talk about this stuff. She eventually will want to talk to you, Nomi, about like, cool, what are you going to do to fix this? But right now she's dealing with her own stuff. So the four of you kind of have your own opportunity to figure things out. So what's everybody doing? What does that conversation look like? Please take it away.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's a
Where
lot.
did we
First comes down
where
to
did
this,
we
what are y'all
put
doing?
Sybil right now?
Shit.
I mean, yeah, eventually someone who isn't me needs to talk. So, I mean, if
Okay.
you want, we
that
can all
makes
just hang out here and I'll describe what happens.
Nope.
But
Makes sense. So we're in the embassy in the aftermath of what just happened, correct?
yes, yeah. And like you've sent your captive up onto the planet, but you still have to deal with Berkman being a problem.
Then it would probably be Booker's going to be in like the main area, like the common area, coordinating and just double checking with the Prudence, making sure that they receive the prisoner, no issues, things like that, getting updates and stuff while checking the feeds on TV, especially if there's stuff broadcasting with Talat Lao saying it's time to rise up and all that stuff. He's keeping tabs on everything.
Yeah,
like that.
it's less that and more like, I am telling you what these people did, and this is how I feel about it, and you can do whatever you want about that.
No,
but
I'm
this
not
is
saying
how
that,
I
like,
feel.
No.
Adam,
You would never just say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to clarify, Talat Lao is claiming that we came down, attacked him in his church, and kidnapped his friend, and that this is all imperial aggression. Because we had the comms, the special Trilliant comms that had everybody listening into the conversation. I mean, could we have was Amira like recording that? Because he like blatantly was about to give her up. Like I said, we're not here for you. We're here for the terrorists.
Of course, that would be
And
recorded.
then he's like,
So in the year,
and then she comes in, fuck you, Lao, blah blah blah.
Yeah. In the year 3000, humans have invented something called lying, which is what he's doing now.
Well, yeah, no, I know that, but what I'm saying is we have very clear evidence that completely disproves.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you're a Crux team. You record everything that you do.
Yeah.
So.
And it was like, by the context, it's by itself, it's very naturally clear that is not what happened. You can hear his voice, you can hear Adler's voice, you can hear me saving him, everything else, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So we've got that we could, in theory, use.
Most importantly, gold.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Max. Good.
Yeah. So he's on TV, and this thing is looping. And they're just being like, yeah, this is the thing. And like, I don't think there isn't like Trillian and the High Church haven't decided how to like speak out against this guy yet. I think they're kind of
Yeah.
waiting on you to kind of make that call.
I'm gonna walk forward and turn off the TV so we don't have to listen to his incessant noise.
Sure.
And then turn to everyone else and say, the only way to deal with this type of propaganda is to debunk it with our own.
We have the recordings. We should perhaps set up some sort of discussion between Crux, Trilliant, and the High Church so that this can be a unified message backed up by the evidence of what happened. But Lao is going to continue to be a problem. Whether we debunk him or not, he is a firebrand. He will continue this streak of aggression and independence because it is about him. It is about his own needs and gains and everything else. We need to also deal with Miguela. She is perhaps the one person who can be heard above Lao.
She hasn't made a statement about any of this stuff yet, right? Like, because she guaranteed she is at home right now sweating what to do because she's gonna have to come down on either the like, hell, I was a crazy person, don't listen to him, or the like, yes, people of Berkman, it is time to rise up. Your
It's
trusted
true.
religious grandma. Like, so she,
Yeah.
you want to get to her
She is
before
the
she
key.
gets a chance to do that and make
Yeah.
sure she says the right thing.
She's like sounding more and more like Mom from Mom's Friendly Robot Company.
Yeah.
dearies.
I mean, she's like, that's kind of her vibe, right? Is this like slightly gruff, like cowboy mom, right? Where she's like
Yeah.
one of us, but like a member of the church.
Obviously,
That's
I
her
wish I
brand.
could have dealt with Lao, but I had to focus on Adler. Ceres, what do you think that we should take the next steps? After all, this is always your responsibility. It is your mission and your team. And we want to make sure that we do what's best for everyone involved.
I think perhaps the people of Berkman will not take proof of our innocence in this situation if it comes from us. If there's a way that we can get the Reverend Miguela to make a statement of her own, alleging our or providing proof of our innocence in this situation, and essentially siding with us in a way. Perhaps
I
the
agree.
people of Berkman would be more receptive to her voice rather than ours. I don't think that they're really looking forward to hearing more of our decrees.
Agreed. No matter what we say, it's going to be taken and falling on more deaf ears if it's coming from our mouths.
Yes, I agree. The High Church will need to take some changes as well. Miguela is very important to this planet. I am concerned that we may need her help into stabilizing things here as well. Perhaps the warrant will need to be used as leverage, but yes. We will also need to deal with Lao after the fact, perhaps, but that is something for perhaps once things are resolved.
No
Yes,
doubt
I
that'll
think
be
it
the
would
bargaining
be-
chip.
I think it would be very suspicious if anything were to happen to Talat Lao before we assert our innocence. So I think our
Yes.
first step is to pay a visit to the Reverend Miguela.
Yes. Very good.
Okay. So I guess if if that's what you want to do, where is she? How are you going to
track
find
her
her?
down?
Mhm. So how do you do that?
We call
Through
her
my
office.
network of spiders that I've established on the planet, Adam.
Listen, man, if you want to make a connect roll, sure. We can say that you
Yeah,
have a
I'd love to make the
network
connect roll.
of informants that are like ready to help you.
We
Yeah,
cut
do you
back
want? I
to a
mean,
scene scenes of Booker walking the streets, tussling the hairs of young children, flipping them a credit. Shit.
hey, listen, what Booker does in his time off is up to him.
Which
Okay,
show
so
he
I mean that's a legitimate thing. Like you can just do that. You can be like, yeah, I spent some time walking around. I got some connections. That's what the skill is for. If you want to make that roll, Max. Okay, let me grab a random name for a person. All right, and then I'll get you to roll. So you want someone who, what? Tell me about this contact, this person that this what are they called in cop speak? The CI. What is your CI supposed to be able to like know, or what can they do for you?
I think it would have been somebody that I would communicated to that there's persons of interest that I want to keep, tabs on.
Yeah.
And I guess the role would whether or not they actually were able to keep tabs on them. So yeah, it would just be somebody that Booker has worked with before in the past that is on planet, and he knows he can tail and find out where people are at fairly easily. So I'll roll connect for that.
Okay.
To try to determine
okay, so that's somebody who can tell you where she is and who's been like keeping an eye on her. I think a standard difficulty, like a 7 and 9, and they're mostly helpful. 10 or better, and they're very helpful.
Okay. Well,
nice.
I know everything she's done. I know what she ate for breakfast. I know everything.
That's awesome. Okay, so this person's name, his name is Syed Horvath, and he is a helpful contact in Megala's staff.
I love seeing chat react to me rolling like, oh god, it's Max. Listen, his stats are better than Berg. Berg is horrible.
So what job would he do for her? Like, I think he works like directly with her, but has like imperial leanings more than she does. What job? Right. Max, I'll let you decide. What job does he do for her?
You could say he's a part of her team of personal assistants.
Oh, okay, yeah.
People that help schedule things, and people that give her information of what's going on day to day and where she needs to be next, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Okay. That's a good person to have. Okay. Yeah. So you can get in touch with Syed. Do you want to? It occurs to you. You're like, oh, time to reel him in. So do you go off to do this by yourself, or do you bring it up to the group?
Yeah, no, I would bring it up to the group. Like, as far as finding out where she's at and what her dealings are, schedule and whatnot, I believe I may have someone who can help us. It's a man by the name of, what is his name? Horvath? Syed? Did you say Syed?
Syed.
Syed.
Yeah, Syed.
I didn't know if it was Syed or Syed.
Yeah, Syed.
Somebody that I trust, works with her, part of her assistant team, helps letting her know where she needs to go, scheduling, that sort of thing. Would have brought it up sooner, but I wanted to make sure I didn't communicate with him as I wanted to communicate with him as little as possible, so as to not draw any connection or arouse suspicion. Now it seems prudent to play that card.
Yes, we do need to secure her.
So if you want, I can go on my own and try to connect with him there, or I leave that to you, Nomi. What do you think would be better?
Yes, I think initially for speaking with him to figure out where the Reverend is, it's perfectly fine for you to speak with him on your own if that's what you desire. We will need to quietly apprehend the Reverend, though, so that we can speak with her on our own terms.
And if you do intend on going into Berkman proper, the city does seem to be destabilized. It might make sense to have someone watch your back, even if from a distance.
I wonder if I can use my contact at Brilliant to maybe requisition a more secure means of travel for us.
Yes, that would be excellent. I would request the same from the church, but I don't think it would help our cause too much right now.
Yes, I think traveling as Crux might draw more attention than traveling as Trilliant.
They don't like the Trillion here, I'm sure, but at least they'll be easier to dismiss there. It's less, have less attention drawn, of course.
I agree.
Words are hard for me today. It's been a long day.
I believe we are all in a very similar position, Booker Griffs.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Like,
how
you're
the last
still all,
episode
like-
ended with our car exploding? Like a
Mhm, yep.
or something. We're just like all standing out there and just explodes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you want to do, Kieran? Like Aram Cruz is still like happy to assist. He's not around because obviously like Trillian has been like, everybody, this is a bad time. Just come on home to your local base and we'll just figure this stuff out. But you can still call him and like try to requisition stuff. And
I would let him know that we are working or we have a good plan to help stabilize the region. But for that, I need the help of his company's resources.
okay. Let's have you make a connect roll. 7 or better, and yes. Because they're spread a little thin right now too. Like, nice, they'll help you. So okay, so you get on the phone and you call Cruz, who you get the impression that he's kind of stressed out because the situation down here is unstable and instability is not very trill. It's hard to sell things when people are scared for their lives. So he is, however, willing to send you guys a vehicle that you can use to get around. But when you're talking to him, he says, like, as you sort of end this conversation, he's like, were you still in need of that transportation we discussed earlier, Amira?
Yes. Affirmative.
It's going to get expensive continuing to ask these folks to hold for you. Is that all right?
I believe things here are reaching ahead. It's not my style to leave things undone. As soon as all of my loose ends are tied up here, I'll be departing. And if things go according to plan, that should happen very soon. For your sake, it would behoove you to lend me whatever resources you are able. I think we have a pretty good plan to calm down the situation here on Berkman. Once I feel like everything is in hand, I'll take my leave of the crew.
Well, here's hoping for the best. I'll await your word. We'll have the vehicle delivered soon.
Thank you.
We'll just keep sending you cars and you keep crashing them in the desert. It'll be fine.
It's fine. That was one time. It's fine.
Hey, that Ferrari you gave me, I crashed it. Can I have a new one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Technically, I didn't crash it. It got blown to bits
Right.
by
The
a
passive voice
barrage
doesn't help.
of missiles.
It's so good.
Technically.
It wasn't my driving.
Okay.
It was the missiles.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so they'll do that. And within the hour you'll have a Trillian, like a transport vehicle that'll show up. And so Booker, you want to contact your CI, or like what's your protocol for this? Let's get all like detective-y. Do you contact them directly, or is that too much of like a potential information leak? How do you get a hold of people like Syed?
It would be probably through a different number that or different way of communicating. You could kind of answer to this a bit more. I don't know. It would be like a telemarketing kind of call, almost like just a spam call somehow, through to his personal communique, whether that would show up in the form of text or whatever, but there would be specific phrasing, that says like, take advantage of this one-time offer, like 50% off, blah, blah, blah. You can find more information at this info booth here. Look, like something like that.
Right. Come on down to visit us at whatever. And then when he gets that, he knows, right?
Yep.
So he knows to like, oh, this is a message from Booker. I need to go and meet him here. Okay. So you send him that message.
Language that's like the Booker watermark of like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Not an actual watermark. I'm just saying in the wording, you know what I mean? There's like a phrase or.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So you send that message. You bring up the like call on the CI and you hit the button. So somewhere Syed Horvath gets a message that's going to make him very nervous, but he's being called to duty. So yeah, you have like, I don't know, how long would you give that? Like, you have to meet me within how long?
Probably like an hour. I think that's enough time. Hour or
Okay.
2 hours,
And
like that.
okay.
Maybe
Alright.
2 hours in case he's like locked up in something.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Okay. So, Gabriel and Nomi, do you have things you want to do, or should we just go to Booker's like CI convo?
Nothing I want to do.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything specific. So
Okay. All right. So Max, let's do that then. Do you go by yourself?
I mean, Nomi was saying to bring another person with, but I feel like that would be, I don't know.
You know who's always ready for action? Doyle. Doyle is ready for action.
yeah.
Or really any of
You know
the
what?
other officers.
You know what?
Doyle.
Nobody pays attention to Doyle so much. So yeah, I'll bring Doyle.
That's Doyle's power. He blends
So
in.
excited.
No, it's a strength. It really is a strength.
And he's enthusiastic though. That's great.
Yeah.
So you find Officer Doyle standing over by the window, and he's looking out at the street, looking concerned. You can see the reflection of his face on the inside of the screen. And outside, there are protesters kind of gathered back around the embassy, and he's looking. And he doesn't really notice that you walk up until you're right behind him. You see him walk up, and then your reflection walks up beside his, and he shakes his head. He doesn't look around. He's just looking out there, and he's like, "It's a damn shame, don't you think?"
What's a damn shame there, Doyle?
And he looks over his shoulder at you and he says, "Well, you know, all the lawlessness and disorder in the universe. People like that, they don't appreciate the hard work we do. You know what I mean? We're out here every day busting our asses, putting ourselves in the line of fire so that people can live safe, you know, like God wants. And then this is how they respond, with the protesting and what have you. I never understood it. That's all."
Well, Doyle, I agree with you. But that's the bitch of it, isn't it? Thing is, without all this lawlessness, mess that needs cleaning up, you and I don't have a job.
So, what? You think that's how it goes for people like us? We finally make peace in the universe and then they just don't need us no more?
Well, I always thought I could be a pretty good gardener. Maybe if we get peace, open up a nice farm. What's it called? I almost said Bert. Booker cracks like a little smile at him. Like, that's not true. I would make
Yeah. Right. And he looks at you and he says, I guess that's the burden in it.
Well, think too big of a goal to aim for complete peace. Try to just aim for stability, so that way others can live their lives.
You ever wonder, maybe they don't deserve it? He's like looking out at the crowd.
Well, some don't for sure. But it's the ones that do that keep me going.
Can you make
Keep
a
you going
lead
too,
roll?
Doyle.
Make a lead roll with charisma. Let's see if you can keep Doyle going. Let's check on Doyle's morale.
Yeah. God. He's gonna be like, nah, I failed. Just fuck it. He just pulls a gun. Get real dark.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? Thanks. Oof. All right. All right. So let's see. I'm just gonna make a note here about Doyle. So you say that, you're like, but it's the ones that do. And you just see him and he squints kind of like angrily, and he shakes his head and he says, things were easier during the war. You knew who the bad guys were. Now, everywhere I fucking look, they look at me like I ain't shit. These fucking peasants. I swear to God. You needed something?
Yeah. I'm gonna go make contact with the CI of mine. Old buddy. Shouldn't be too crazy, but never bad to have a pair of keen eyes.
Yeah, I'm going a little stir crazy in here. I'll come with you.
I figured you might. Come on, go have some fun.
Yeah, and he like reaches into his pocket and he takes out his sunglasses and he puts them on, follows you outside.
Fucking Doyle.
And keep in mind that Doyle has the J. Jonah Jameson like brush cut and like a big fucking janitor mustache, the big bristly mustache, and he's like all chest. He's like a big barrel chested dude. Like Doyle lifts. And he puts on sunglasses. He's like, all right, let's fucking go. And he follows you out.
Fuck, what am I even
So-
lifting for? Never get out there. Much days. Days.
Yeah, he's got like a tattoo on his arm with a heart and it says Crux on it. So the two of you head to this place to meet your CI. What does it look like? Give me the venue. Is it like a bar? Is it an alley? Where do you?
I think this one would probably be a noodle shop, Adam.
Cool. All right, sure. You can meet him at a noodle shop. Noodles are not really like a local cuisine here, but they could be imported from another planet. I dig it.
It's Duug's Noodles.
Yeah, right. Doag. So
Doag.
yeah, I mean, you're outside a nameless noodle shop with a big neon bowl with noodles kind of flickering out of it. It's I think it's like twilight. And there are less people out here than there normally would be. The front of the shop has a kind of like semi-transparent, like kind of scratched like glass exterior. You can see there's a few people inside. But it seems pretty quiet.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I guess Doyle would probably be positioned then at another table eating by himself or something like that. He's just there for in case stuff goes bad to be another extra hand and keep eyes open.
Okay. All right. So he looks at the place and he says, this is it, huh? Where do you want me?
Go over there, that corner table in the back. Should have good view of everything coming in and out. Get yourself something nice, Doyle.
And he kind of gives you a look, and then he takes his glasses off, tucks them in his pocket, and he checks his gun, and then he goes in front of you to scope the place out.
It's funny because it's a shitty noodle shop.
All right. So you go in and he's already
sounds
sitting
fun.
as if you weren't. He goes in and he's already he's sitting and he's like scoped the place out. He's got a good like overview of what's happening, and it's like the two of you don't know each other, so he goes in. And when you go inside, you see him sitting off to one side, and he's looking at this like styrofoam thing of noodles. Like, ugh, he's eating one, and he's like, meh. And there are a couple of other people in here. Most of the people who've just sort of come in from outside and are sitting and eating. It's pretty quiet. And then you see at the back at the booth that you prearranged, you see Syed. Syed is he's in his mid-20s, dark skin, conservative haircut. He wears a kind of religious looking like tunic. He's a clerk basically. It's religious looking tunic with like a high collar with some like gold piping on it. It's like a linen outfit. And he's sitting with a tablet in hand, and he's just like anxiety scrolling. He's not actually looking at anything. He's just kind of like looking around, looking at his tablet, trying to be nonchalant, but he's not very good at it.
He's sitting at the booth. You're saying that he's already there.
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, then Booker would walk up, like, mind if I join you?
And Syed looks up and he's like, yes, of course, please.
What you thinking of ordering? I haven't been to this place.
Oh, the dandan's pretty good. I thought I was hungry, but seem to have lost my appetite.
Mm.
And he's just got like a cup of. He's got a plastic container of like tea in front of him.
So, how are things?
Well, you know, they've been better. Everybody's busy. Things are tense.
Booker's like scrolling on the menu. You know, I never understood all of the different options on here. There's like 50 different options. They're all pretty much the same thing. Hot noodles with some other stuff mixed in. I don't know.
Well, they say the devil's in the details, right?
Yeah, maybe my palate just isn't as good as it used to be. Anyways, Booker like just being very casual about like everything.
Yeah, and your like casualness is just serving to make him more uncomfortable.
I think Booker
He's
looks at
definitely
him
off.
like,
He's off balance. Yeah.
Booker looks at him like sees like sweat probably coming from his beard. Like, hey, easy, it's fine. Not gonna do yourself any favors. Sweating here, looking all fidgety.
It's not here that I'm worried about. It's back at the office. They're going to notice I'm gone soon. Things have been. They need everyone. All hands on deck. So, he like looks at his watch.
Makes
We've only
sense.
got a few minutes.
Let's keep it brief then. Tell me what you know.
This Lao announcement has the elder up in arms. She's trying to decide what to do about it. She's been having communications both with the church and with other community organizers, other priests. Her and Lao have had time to build a network of friends. She's been working on them, trying to make a peaceful solution to this. You and yours, when you got here, you destabilized the whole thing. She's been doing good work. Or trying to, at least. I've been trying to tell her that there's no fighting the Empire. There's only one place this goes if she does that. She has to decry Lao, but she's not sure. She's getting pressure from elsewhere.
Just as an aside, Adam, like he's completely in cover. Like she has no idea any like his actual like ties, right? Or is he actually just like a imperial employee?
No, the only reason he's your CI is because he thinks like you put some pressure on him, but he agrees with you. Like he wants her. It would work out great for everybody if he could convince her, or she would just do it to be like, yes, the church is right. Talat Lao was crazy. Get rid of him. He was in cahoots with the terrorists.
I'm trying to figure out just the details, whether or not to entrust. Like this is somebody obviously the Booker completely trusts. Like I'm just making sure we establish that.
I mean, he's a CI.
I've been led
he's
into
a
some
CI.
traps before, Adam, by you.
No,
so.
totally, and it's good that you're asking. So, what that role is it establishes his value to you. You told me I need someone who can do this thing for me, and he can. If you want to try to get a read on him, you can make a notice roll. You could also like press him. Why
not? Make a notice roll just to see.
Yeah, notice with wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Where's my thing? Great. Now we're back.
Hard to get a read on him.
Now we're back.
He's super squirrely. Yeah, you got a 3. He's squirrely, right? And so I think that triggers in you the cop instinct of like, it's not that you can't trust him because he's fucking with you. It's that he's unpredictable. He could do anything, right? You don't know because you can see he's like the pressure's getting to him.
That sucks. Because I mean, that makes it harder for me to be able to talk to him and share information. All right. Well, my main goal is to find out where she is and what her schedule is. So that's where he'll start.
Okay.
It was like,
so yeah, what do you say to him?
I understand. Listen, we knew coming down here wasn't gonna necessarily help things right away, but it required a response. Surely you understand that.
Listen, officer, like when he says officer, he's like, fuck, like, shit, I shouldn't say shit like that out loud.
Booker,
and
eyebrows are like,
yeah, and he's just like, listen, I'm not good at this, but he says, I told you when you got here, I can give you what you need. I need a way off world. So, like, I don't I don't have Imperial Transit papers. If you can get those for me, then I can get the fuck off this planet. And then I don't have to care what happens. But I'm putting myself in some very serious danger by talking to you. If she found out, people have gone missing before, okay? So, how about this? You get me those papers, and I'll give you her schedule. And then I don't care what happens to her. My
Booker's
only
like-
allegiance is to myself.
Booker pretends to think about it, knowing that it's like totally easy to do that.
Oh yeah.
And then he's gonna if it's we can make it that quick. Booker's gonna pull out like a tablet and just bloop, 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 put it in like a request for tagged with like proper encryption and stuff, saying like confidential informant requires transportation to facilitate and execute requirement and task and all that stuff. I'm assuming it probably just takes a second before you get a bing approved.
So you submit the request. Nomi, where are you when you get the request for approval?
I guess I just stayed at the embassy while everyone kind of went and did their thing.
That'd be a good transition. If you want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you get a note on your data pad that says that Officer Graves is requesting approval of some documentation for a CI named Syed Horvath. You have his identification code and stuff. He's an Imperial citizen, but he doesn't have transit. He's not allowed to have a passport, basically. Not for any reason except that like you just don't get those. Like they're not just given out for free. So
Okay.
now you have to approve.
Okay. Can I just approve it, or do I need to like check with Yancey first or something?
It is entirely up to you. You have the right to do it, but if it ends up like it could bite you in the ass, right?
Right. Okay. Can I run like
this is a moment to decide how much you trust Booker.
Can I run like a background check on the name that he gave me,
Yeah, totally.
just to see if he's
Yeah, you
like a
just pull up-
criminal or something? Yeah.
Pull this information. He has no infractions on World. He's registered as a member of the personal staff of the Elder Megala. He was born on Berkman. He's like a Berkmanian citizen.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like he has any like criminal record or anything.
And I would just
Seems like
approve
a
it.
safe bet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you just kind of look at it and do some due diligence. You're like, all right. Boop. So Booker, meanwhile, you get approval. Shows up on your data pad, and the whole time Syed is just fidgeting, like, "What are you doing? Like, get out of here."
Yep. Booker looks at it. Done. What's your schedule?
And he looks at the pad and he says, "Send me the papers first."
Booker's like, all right.
All right. So his data pad like pings. He pulls it up, swipes some stuff, grabs a bunch of files, and sends them to you. And then you get a list of like all of her like where she currently is and her schedule. It's been changed, so there's like a bunch of her like schedule dates, and then there's her like rescheduling. She was supposed to do a bunch of stuff. You can see the dinner that she planned like crossed off that list.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure
it
we're not
looks-
having dinner.
Yeah, it looks like right now she's in like high security mode, and she's at a like her compound basically. It's outside of the city proper. She lives in a little like church facility up on the surface, a little bit of a ways away from the city, kind of in the outskirts.
Thinking for a second here, because we obviously want to set up a meet with her. It's going to be easier to try to use somebody that's already in contact with her, help scheduling her day-to-day stuff, rather than showing up to some high security facility and being like, hey, you want to talk? So maybe, I'll talk to you guys real quick, just an aside here. I can tell him that I'll contact him again, that our intent is to like meet up with her, and play into the fact that he wants this to go smoothly, and she wants it to go smoothly as well, and she hasn't made a statement and stuff, and they're trying to figure out what to do. That might be prudent.
Yeah, I
This is me
think
talking
with
to the rest of you guys.
Perudin.
I know.
There you go. I was like, oh god.
I was just laughing.
I
about
mean,
the word.
so the other thing, and this, I don't know if this would occur to Booker or not. It's the kind of thing that would occur to Gabriel, at least. The fact that she is in a facility slightly outside of the city makes it a great target for the orbital weapons platform on the Prudence. Like, if it really comes down to it, you can just be like, yo, can we get a firing solution on these coordinates? And they'll be like, yep, boop, and she just blows up, her and all of her dumb friends. Because you won't hit any, there's nobody else, like you're not going to hit any like serious targets because she's out in the middle of nowhere. It just makes her harder to get at by land, right?
Yeah.
Like your weapons, the weapons on the Prudence can't like blow up a whole city, but like a facility like this, no problem.
I think
Some
if
fucking
Booker,
farms.
I think if Booker relays the information that she's kind of really torn between the two sides, and that she does want to seek a peaceful solution, hopefully. You know, I think like, pushing to have some sort of meeting where we can say, listen, we've got evidence that Lau is talking absolute shit. And also he was working with the terrorists all along. He's responsible for the bombings, blah, blah, blah. And also, by the way, we have a warrant for your arrest. Work with us or we'll fucking arrest you or / blow up your base.
That's what I was kind of like, getting at initially when I was asking about whether or not Syed's loyalties are, I mean, like what's the read on that? That's why I was trying to figure that out. Because if he is unpredictable and doesn't know what he's going to say, he might just be like, listen, they have all this. What are we going to do?
No, I don't think. I think we just use him to set up a meeting, but don't give him like too much intel. Just say that like we want the same thing that she does.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to.
We want to have a chat. We don't want to make this more difficult than it needs to be, kind of thing.
Yep, for sure. Okay.
That's what I think, but I don't know what the Kiran and Nomi, Emira and Nomi would want to do.
All right, so Booker, Syed looks at you because you're not able to really like have this. You're sitting at the booth with this guy, and he looks at you as you look over the schedule, and he says, "So were you gonna order anything else or?"
Space.
Like looking around, like I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Listen, ultimately, we want the same thing as the Elder Michaela wants. She wants peace. She wants to calm this whole revolution down and prevent any more bloodshed. That sound about right?
And he says, now that I have these, and he holds his data pad up, I don't give a fuck what happens to Berkman. I'm getting on the first transport out of here. There's a beach on Hurla with my fucking name on it.
I understand that, but talk to me here. That's essentially what she wants.
And he's like, we don't have a lot of strategic conversations, the Elder and I schedule her appointments. She cares a lot about the people of Berkman, and she cares about God, and she cares about the High Church, and she'd like all those things to be in alignment. That's all I know. Listen, she's a good woman. She's been alone out here a long time.
Well, would you be able to set up a sort of meeting if she is in this high security facility?
And he's like, and you can see him like struggling. He's like, it's like, you already gave him what you want. You're basically like, you're free to go. And then he's like, cool, I'm going to go. And you're like, except I need more stuff. Let's see. Let's have you make a roll.
I mean, I can cancel those. We can cancel the validity of those papers. Like,
you sure can.
Like, who knows that?
How do you want to play this? Do you want to threaten him? Like, because you can see he's like, listen, I gave you what you asked for. I'm going to get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it would be like a threat. Not like I'm going to beat the shit out of you, but it's just like, listen, you got the papers. We prove that, we'll do that. But yeah, so that's what Booker says to him. He's like, listen, I understand you want to get off this world personally. I do too, but I have a job to do. You help me do that job. You get off world nice and easy. I'm trying to take that away from you.
And so it's kind of dawning on him that you're like still like trying to get shit from him. You can see him be like, dicks. And make a roll. Make a roll here. Let's have you talk. Make a talk with charisma roll.
I mean, I could just use my authority on him right now. once per,
Yeah. If you
Cool.
want to use your authority, you could just be like, listen,
Respect
fucko.
my authority.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I'll do
He has
that.
to.
I don't use this
Okay.
enough. He's not openly hostile to me, so he should comply.
Nope. Yeah. Okay. So once per day, you can make a request to an NPC. Make a charisma and lead check. The difficulty of his morale score, it's very low. His morale is 5. If you succeed, he'll comply with the request. Okay. Yeah. So do it.
So it's with lead. Right, yeah, charisma
Yes.
lead.
Yeah.
Right.
Charisma
Yep.
and lead.
Got it. Nailed it.
Okay. So he's
Nailed
like,
it.
he's in the midst of getting up, and then when you're like, yeah, now you have the papers, and we can make sure that you keep them. He looks at you, and you can see down somewhere deep inside, the part of him that thought about resisting you just like crumbles and blows away. And he realizes that he's just fucked. So he looks at you and he says, he sits down and he's like, fine. What do you need?
I need you to set up a meeting with her.
Uh-huh. What am I
we can
supposed to
talk.
say? Oh, I'm sorry, Elder Megala. The off-world forces from House Crux would like to have a polite conversation with you. She's gonna see right through that. There's no way I can get her to approve. And like he freaks out when someone comes in from outside, like the door hisses and like dings, and he's just like, huh. And then he turns back to you, and like you can see this guy's fucking jittery as hell. And he's like, there's no way that I can convince her of that.
No, that would be
I can
dumb.
put something else in the schedule if you want to pretend like it's something, but
Of course, she's not going to agree to talk to us if she knows it's us. I figured that would be obvious.
so what then? Who do I say it's a meeting with?
Tell her someone who is a church supporter that has more information on what happened with Talat Lao at the church. Surely she'll be interested at least. We just need a point of communication. We'll have someone else that she hasn't met before meet her, and we'll go from there. We're not trying to spook her.
Security's been extra high lately. She's not going to believe me if I just make someone up. I need a name, someone she can look into.
Shit.
And he looks around and he's like, I've been here too long. You know how to get in touch with me. Give me a name, and then I'll see what I can do.
Fair enough. You sure you don't
He
want to take your
gets
noodles
up.
to go?
He gets up and he looks at him. He's like, no, you have them. I don't give a shit. And he like walks out.
Always enjoy these chats.
So yeah, you're at the table. He gets up and walks away. And what do you do? You're just looking at his like still mostly full noodle container. Do you get up?
I think Booker like looks at the noodle container, like looks at what he got, just out of curiosity. He's like,
Yeah.
it's all the same. It's all the same. He just gets up and then goes and grabs Doyle.
Okay. Yeah. So Doyle has eaten all of his noodles. He's just sitting there staring at this like empty noodle cart, little noodle container. And you walk over and he gets up, and he's like, at first I didn't like the fucking noodles. Then I'm just sitting here and I'm like, what am I gonna do with them? I changed my mind halfway through. Not bad. You figure that guy out. You get what you need.
Yeah, I think we did. Gonna have to follow
All
up on
right.
it, but I think we got a point of opportunity here to get what we need.
Yeah. He nods and he says, good. All right. I'm glad I could help. That
Glad
guy
you
you were
told
talking
the
to,
news.
he looked a little shaky. You on something?
I think he's just cracking under the pressure, but he'll follow through. He doesn't get what he wants, so, and he knows that.
He sighs. He gets up, and because he's a good Crux boy, he takes his garbage over to the garbage receptacle and he throws it in the trash. And as you're walking out, he says to you, he's like, it's just like my pops used to say, there's only two kinds of fucking people in the world. People who can hack it, people who fucking can't. I guess we know what kind that guy is.
Let's go, Doyle.
And the two of you head off.
The
Awesome.
new hit
All right.
buddy cop movie coming this summer.
Booker and the Doyle. Yep. So so in the meantime, back at the embassy, I guess the vehicle that you requested has arrived, Amira. It's like an automated, it's like a drone vehicle. It's dropped off, but you can drive it by yourself. I think Nomi, the ambassador, wants to have a word with you. So
Great.
maybe you have a meeting with her.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Ambassador Ramirez, she, you and her in her office. It's this beautiful, sparse, like kind of dark wood interior, with a globe of a hollow globe of Hyra kind of sitting to one side on an end table. And you're brought in, and she dismisses her assistant, and she says to you, so what's going on? I promised you I would be hands off at the beginning of this, but I have to ask, things seem to be getting worse, not better.
Often that is how problems are fixed.
I have so far resisted going over your head and speaking to your captain, but I need to ask you now, is it safe on Berkman, or should I be considering relocation? The embassy is still technically open, but I have noticed many of my contacts in the church and the Trillion Ring have both withdrawn to their facilities.
You are free to do as you see fit. After all, this is your embassy, but I don't feel that your life is in any immediate danger. Our plans are still in motion and everything is still proceeding as we have so deemed necessary.
Yes. I my apologies. I didn't mean to doubt you. It's just that well, you live in the powder keg long enough, I suppose you should expect a fire or two. So, what now? I mean, all of my meetings are canceled. My contacts have all gone dead. I presume that after all of this, I will still have a job to do on Berkman, but may I ask what the next step is?
Well, for now, it does appear as though you are in a bit of a holding pattern while we iron out some of these kinks. But I assure you that once things have been handled on the Crux side, we will let you know how things have shaken out.
Yes, of course. And you can tell that this is a woman who is just not used to not having anything to do, and it's making her uncomfortable.
Mhm. I feel like she is trying to, like, I'm suspicious. She's, like, trying to get me to tell her stuff, and I don't wanna tell her what we're doing.
She just wants to be reassured, and
Uh-huh.
it's up to you if you give a shit about that.
Yeah. I just don't really feel like we have anything for her to do, you know?
No, and that's
Like
the thing is like she wants, like, she can't really help. She wants to feel like she at least knows what's going on, but also like fuck her and her feelings. Like she's not helping you. She has nothing to do. So if you just want to tell her that,
Yeah.
that's up to you.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't there's, like, no reason to be, dismissive of her necessarily, like, she has been cooperative. Um,
Mhm.
so, um I know that right now it seems like things are a bit of a mess, and the best that I can do at this moment is to reassure you that we are still working on the problem and we have seen progress. We have apprehended a number of suspects in connection with the terrorism that you have been experiencing here on Berkman, and we are still in pursuit of other leads. So things are moving forward, even if it feels like they are moving backward.
I don't mean to make you think that I don't trust you or think that things are advancing. It's just this is a very uncertain time. Thank you for speaking with me. My facility and my people, of course, are at your disposal. If there is anything I can do to help, please just ask.
Yes, your loyalty to the Empire is duly noted. Thank you for your offer of assistance. I will let you know.
And she nods like, good, yes, praise. That's what I like. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Seems like that helped. Let's have you make a talk and charisma roll. Let's see how long that lasts.
Great. I feel like I just patted her on the head like, there.
Yep. Oh yeah, totally. Sometimes that's all people want.
Yeah.
Let's see if you did a better job with her then. Because Doyle's got perfect.
13.
That's all she needed.
Awesome.
Okay, the ambassador.
Alright, don't talk to me
thinks everything's
anymore.
gonna be okay. She will totally leave you alone. And now, whenever she sees something happening that she doesn't understand, she'd be like, Nomi's got it under control.
Yes.
Okay.
Unquestioning loyalty is what Nomi likes.
Yep, it's perfect. Okay, cool. So the ambassador now trusts you. Like, you did great. Yes. I can breathe a sigh of relief while fucking Rome burns around me. Everything's gonna be fine. Okay, cool. So I think that's the point at which Booker returns with this information, and the group of you can decide on like a name to give this CI. I assume, Booker, you just like tell them everything.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Okay. So what do you want to do? How do you decide? Like, Booker has come back and told you he's got the CI. The CI is going to try to set up a meeting, but you can't set up a meeting with like anyone related to Crux, or like you got to give him a name that you can look up and be like, oh, this person,
Yeah.
someone she'll trust.
I think Booker suggests something to the effect of, I would go into it and RP it out, but we're about to go on break. So I think something to the effect of, like we can have Arnahan or somebody that, or maybe even fucking Doyle. I don't know. Somebody that's even like a part of our group here. If we want to have somebody come from the ship that can be a face or whatever, we can create a different identity for them because we have the ability to do that. Have someone make it very easy to find, what they're about, what they do, and all that stuff. Give them basically like a backstory on Berkman here. Because otherwise, anybody that we have on our team right now, I'm sure they're gonna be able to find out who they actually are. She has enough context and ability to look into it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
She knows what the church knows, but she certainly doesn't know everything, right? She's not Prism.
I know,
she's
but
not Crux. So, like, I mean, if you give her any name, like you are a Crux. So if you give her your name, that's not going to work. Anybody directly related to them, probably not. Nomi's like iffy. Definitely don't say that Gabriel. It's a meeting with Gabriel because that's like he's a dead man, and you already thought he was an assassin. The Amira might be like. That might be an angle you could take, but she definitely don't assume she knows everything, right? Like you want to give her someone that's believable.
Is the plan to have her meet somebody and then like bring the rest of us? I feel like, or is this like somebody's going in there with all our cards on the table?
No. Somebody, I think the way I had it was to establish contact, right? Have them talk like they know. Like the premise is that somebody's there that has information about what happened. The details of what happened, like they were there. And then from there, that's a point of introduction to be like, listen, this is why we're really here. This is what we want. Don't freak out, essentially. And then have a point of introduction there. You know what I mean? Rather than showing up to her door or her showing up and it's just us sitting there and it's like, okay, clearly we flagged them for security. This isn't good. Let's get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean?
So Gabriel has the Inquisitor up in the Trilliant Cathedral, AnneMunition, who basically agreed to help me with whatever I was doing.
Mhm.
So we could potentially use him, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to work. But she does want to work with the church. That's someone. Or the Amira. I was thinking the Amira, because she's tied to the group, but she's not specifically Crux. She knows what went down. I think that would make the most sense.
Yeah.
And she's also
I
good.
could also play that angle of like, I could play the angle because, being an Amira, like an ambassador, that I'm here protecting or representing like trade interests.
Smoothing things out.
Mhm.
to make sure to protect like an investment that I have. I could almost play it
Yeah.
off as like a businesswoman.
Mhm.
That
Like,
makes
I'm not
sense.
working with you, especially given that if she does look into me, she's gonna find out that I'm with Trilliant anyway. So I could easily, or that I've been talking to Trilliant, so I can easily, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
probably show up in a Trilliant car.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
to play that angle as opposed to playing a police angle.
That makes sense. Police angles, that's not going to be the that'll work best for I think the scenario. If there's any sort of police enforcement or anything like that, it's just going to be weird, and I don't think they're going to be good with that. So
Couldn't I take one or two of you undercover anyway? Like she's not gonna be looking for Gabriel because she thinks he's dead. So with a minor disguise and him dressed
Gabriel's
as my
also the only
partner.
person she's met. Gabriel's the only person she's met face to face, too, of all of
I
you.
thought she met Nomi.
Mhm.
Gabriel went out to see her like right
Oh.
away when he first landed on the planet.
I think Nomi went to try to meet her, but it didn't work
Yeah.
out.
No, we
Isn't that
talked.
how it worked?
Oh.
You did talk.
We were
Yeah,
in a
no,
car
I'm
together.
Oh, you did
sure
talk to her?
Nomi did, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
we were
No,
in
no,
a-
you're right.
Yeah, we
You're
were in
right.
her car. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. I
That's what it
forgot
was.
about that
Yeah.
scene. Yeah.
But she
You
had
almost
the
didn't
thing-
talk to her, and then it happened.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I remember
what it
you
was.
being kind of like wasn't gonna go, but yes, you do. Yeah.
I think Gabriel would like to be nearby just in case anything does kick off.
Yeah.
I want to be
couldn't
100
Reeves go
meters
as,
away
like,
from you.
I want to be
my
precisely 100 meters away.
Like, cause yeah, I've got the cover, but couldn't I take Booker and have him pretend to be like an assistant or an intern?
As
Hand
long as
him,
she's
like,
not
a clipboard?
Googling him.
She wouldn't have reason to.
Just say I'm
Well,
bringing
I
an
mean-
assistant, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's up to you. It
Dress-
becomes like more suspicious the more people
Risky.
there are, but yeah.
Dress
I
Booker
wonder if
up
I
as
should bring
Eleanor.
Aram. I feel like if this goes south, I might. Well, it should be fine. I was gonna say maybe I should bring Aram.
Yeah.
I do have
Yeah.
minions, and that would only
I don't-
help disseminate or like establish that story that I'm there for business interests if I bring.
I don't
him.
think we're going to have too much of an issue with being flagged or whatever, unless we have somebody like Gabriel, his face right out there, like, "Hey, what's up?" Like she hasn't met it. Most of us else,
Window.
personally. The only other one that you've met personally is Nomi. We can be in the area and we can still have the Trilliant comms that we used before. So we'll have,
Mhm.
we'll have a point of contact with you
Okay.
while you're talking to her. So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
All right.
We're not going to meet Talat Lau, who we know is, shit is going to pop off potentially with some crazy church people.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that guy's security has been cranked all the way up to 11 now. Like he's surrounded himself with bodyguards, and yeah, he's gonna be much harder to get at. She's still undecided. She's just kind of like moved to her country estate.
Yeah. So I would say we leave off with Booker saying, "You sure you're down with this, Amira?" She says, "Yes." And just then a chandelier is falling. Who will it hit, if anyone?
Man, Max, you're great at this. I'm just gonna go. I'm done with the episode. Max, you're in charge now. All right.
Yes.
So you're gonna set up this meeting with the Amira. I think that's fine. We can assume that's possible. And that'll be the thing we do when we get back. So think about how you want to handle that. And we will return in just a couple minutes with more roleplay for Verona right after this.